There's a monster under my bed, and at my window there's a dragon. I accepted the challenge, it turned me into a savage. I broke a promise to myself again. I don't know why I am so vulnerable. They try to help, but I won't let them in. I guess rock bottom's where I'm comfortable. Both my feet planted when most people would've panicked. I embraced the storm, I found beauty in what was damaged. I'm not afraid of the boogeyman. Instead I look at him like he's a friend. There's not a monster out there in the world that's scarier than the one that's within. There's a creature in my closet, I can hear him rumbling around. The demon screaming in the distance creates such a humbling sound. The monster that's outside my window, he's like family to me now. The things that people are afraid of never let me down.
Not to say it's no, but I'm hated so. My religious freaks say I'm the biggest beast and that I made it grow. When I spray this flow, I created more. Creatures are like when I heat up the mic, I'm a breed of the night, but I'm tainted though. By the darkness I'm binded, I sparked it and shined it. They find it cause mine is woe. But that they label me a demon seed, wanna disable me to see them bleed, hinder me fatally and see them grieve, no. You would not believe the creature inside me if you deceive Khalifa's lively. We disagree when people defy me or try to take his. Whatever the fuckery toward them, you don't wanna wake this. You forsake his, what is sacred, then it's over no matter what your faith is. I'm a creature.
There's a creature in my closet, I can hear him rumbling around. The demon screaming in the distance creates such a humbling sound. The monster that's outside my window, he's like family to me now. The things that people are afraid of never let me down.
Yeah, I managed to get myself in trouble, all of this pain. Yeah, I'm damn in the double dose of liquor's always to blame. If I could keep myself sober, I keep my hands to myself. I take a shot and it's over, that's how I end up in hell. I hope I don't pass it down to my offspring. They get everything from their daddy, feel like I'm addicted to all things. There's no reason to change, gone too far now. And I'm stuck in my ways, back at the bar now. They say I'm a flirt and they right, I ain't perfect, alright. So when I'm thirsty and perking and purposely searching for something that's hurting me so, I just can't pack up and go, I just back out of it slow, that's how it go. I like to back out the hole, what next like I don't know. Okay. I think you be laughing at me, hands be grabbing at me, feel like God let it happen till we dab it blast from me, and these be a dab it dash really. Okay, yeah. I think I better let it go, either that or I gotta let it know. I can't do that.
There's a creature in my closet, I can hear him rumbling around. The demon screaming in the distance creates such a humbling sound. The monster that's outside my window, he's like family to me now. The things that people are afraid of never let me down.
Welcome, welcome. Oops, we got an echo. 1 second. Seriously? Did I have the wrong thing on there? Hear me now? Damn it. Did I have the wrong mic? Can you hear me now? Oh my fuck. What's going on? How about now? You're not hearing me on my other mic? What the fuck? Yeah, but that was a test on my earbud. How about now? Let me see. Now? How about now? How about now? How about now? Because it looks like it was already hooked up. I don't really. My phone is. I didn't want my phone on stage, but it's not even on. Oh, okay, good. Okay, because I was talking for a while. Okay, I will back this shit up then. Mr. Nobody is in the eye of a hurricane, and I was asking him, I need to know, you have lost your shoes. Do you have your sock or do you have one sock? And are you at a house of 5 Mexicans? These are the things that I need to know. Are you safe at the house of the 5 Mexicans? And are you really in a tornado? Or is it a hurricane? I think I seen that title somewhere and I'm like, are we really going and recycling the tornado thing again? Are we really gonna go there? And was it really a tornado? One sock and a Kentucky munchkin. How did we get back in this side of YouTube to tornadoes? And are there really people going through tornadoes? I don't want to laugh about it if there really are tornadoes. The black toe, the black socks. I can't take it. And in other news that I don't really know much about, if there's any tigers in the bushes that are willing to come out, is it true that did Arctic Tiger quit the tigers? She like left the tigers? I think I heard somewhere that she blocked all the tigers, and I thought, what the hell is going on? I need to know these things. Give me the tiger tea, somebody from the tigers. Somebody in the bushes, come on out. I just want Tracy. She's alive. What's up, Tracy? Okay, tornado in a couple hours. That's good. That's good. I'm still waiting to see if Mr. Nobody has a black toe and both of his socks. Okay, there he is. He's in the yardo with a tornado. Tornadoes in the yardo. All right. Well, glad to know. But in the tiger news, I'd like to know if the Arctic tiger quit the tigers. So I was wondering if we have any tigers in the bushes that can answer me. I'm just curious, really. It doesn't really matter. Nobody really has to tell me, but come on. She has been there for a while, so I just found that really weird to leave and block everyone. What's up, Rand? Hello, Sally. I haven't really talked about anything yet. I'm just kind of, chilling for a second, learning about tornadoes and seeing if Arctic Tiger quit the tigers. Saying hello. Okay, so there's a tornado watch in Kentucky, just a watch. So there might be some other people in Kentucky around in the bushes, and I'm sure they'll tell me if the weather gets bad. Oh, you're under a tornado watch too, Chaotic. There might be some Dildo in the Yardo songs. There might be some tornadoes in the Yardo. Hello, Big Smile. So I guess maybe I'll find out later if any tigers pop in. That would be nice to know. So I just keep finding random shit that I pulled up, and I mean, I don't know. Some of you guys might have heard. I know I don't do a lot of the Diddy stuff because there's so many people covering it. I do it once in a while, but a new victim came forward, and the stuff that they were saying, I don't know if it's like a propaganda to make it all look foolish, like it's a fake victim or a real victim. I can't tell by the shit they're saying. They talking about Diddy's Tootsie Roll, and I couldn't contain myself when I heard it being read. So I'm going to share some of that with you. And what else? I found, I like to find the cop cam videos. I got one of a cop cam video saving, I think it was a golden retriever. It could have been a lab actually, but that was pretty cool. And it's a good reminder that it's starting to get warm. It's already warmer in the down south, and reminder to not do that with your dogs or leave them in the car because they can pass away pretty quickly. It's not cool, And let's see, I found one of a half naked man that crashed into a police station and with a goal of offing all the police, and he had quite a plan. And this happened last year, and I never heard it. So I'm going to play a couple clips because that shit was funny. So I'm not sure if I might have to omit a couple things or not just because of the time and it's kind of late. But again, okay, let me see the chat. 50 Cent's trolling. I know I didn't see any of it, but 50 Cent's been trolling him since he went. You know what I'm saying? Or before he even went to jail, and he has the funniest shit. But I don't go on the social media that he's on, so I just usually see people bring it over here. So I didn't see any of those memes yet. But some of the people that are reporting on it and their facial expressions, like when you got Nancy Grace reading this article about Tootles, I play a little portion of her because I can't take it. That shit was funny. So you know what? Maybe I should do that. The itty bitty ditty. Can you imagine that? How and he has to sit there if they read that in court and not rage about that shit. I heard from other people. Maybe Tisa tells. I think she was saying that all his lawyers were backing away from him yesterday because he was getting pissed off about something. They're kind of like afraid to get too close, and there's nothing he can do. Let's see which one I want to do first. I think I'll play a short clip of the Nancy Grace because her facial expressions are pretty. Obviously, I can't play the whole thing because I have to do the fair use. I'll just play I'm only going to do a couple minutes of it. So let me get my little Mama T warning of fair use because we got a fair use, y'all. I don't want to get in trouble on the interwebs.
Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use.
Yeah, let's do this short. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. Fair use.
Okay, I didn't remember that he was on this again. My bad.
Fair use.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107
Hi,
of the
Nana
Copyright
Kim.
Act of 1976. Allowances
Angry
made
Nancy.
for fair use for purposes
It's her
such
eyebrows.
as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship,
I
education,
will
and research.
make
Fair
you
use is
holler.
a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
Fair use, fair use.
Okay, that's
fair use.
I didn't remember because I don't use that much. I should probably edit that. That's a lot of fair uses by Mama T. Hey, Fox, did you see that I finally did a romper video? I finally did a romper dance that I've been promising everyone for like a year or two, maybe even 2 years. I don't know. It's posted in my video section. It's my last video, I think. Yeah, I rarely do that, Mr. Nobody, because I figure I'll deal with it if it happens, but it's Nancy Grace, you know what I mean? I don't want to get busted by the Nancy, you know what I mean? She kind of scares me with those eyebrows. Okay, anyways, so let me go back over here. Yeah. And again, I'm only going to play just look at her face already. Just that face of disgust. Oh, who gave me? Oh, what's that? Oh, Tracy. Did you get 5 members? I didn't see that come through. Let me see. Hold on, let me go back. I just seen it pop up on my phone. I hope I didn't miss that earlier. What? I don't see it on here. It's on my phone. Well, thank you for gifting members, Tracy. I love you. But I don't see where it's not popping up on my. Oh, there it is. If I missed that, I'm sorry. I didn't see when it popped up. Thank you. Thank you. Please thank Tracy if you got one. Oh, hey, Zep. I didn't see you earlier. Now, I'm sure I'll get to the point, but I'm sure a lot of you've heard from a lot of people that stream and that they're really irritated with the way that they've done this update where you can only see like 1 or 2 comments on the phone and it's blocked by that referral link. It's hideous. Like right now, since I looked at Tracy's comment, I can only see 1.5 comments at a time on my phone, and that's how I watch comments. So. And I do usually try to go back and I'll see questions and stuff, and I actually try to get back to people so that I really don't miss anything. You know what I mean? Like I said, I usually most of the time go back just to watch any kind of question I missed. I found one from Bonkers the other day, for instance, that asked if I had been down to the Kennedy compound, and I wanted to answer her in my next live. I'll be happy to go down there sometime if people are interested because, yep, my grandmother's down by the Kennedy compound, and let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nana Kim, for becoming a member. Thank you. Nancy has earned that. Yeah, that is called that haircut. You know the word? If you could put one word for what do you see in one word when you see Nancy's face right now? If I could explain it in one word, it would be Karen. But that would be my one word description. I don't know about any of you, but like I said, her eyebrows kind of scare me when she's mad. But where was I? Oh yeah, field trip. So I might go down to one of the harbors, maybe even later on tonight. I don't know. I want to show you guys some of the sick yachts that just sit there. I'm talking double, triple decker. I don't know if they're all out yet, but some of them might be. So I think that would be cool. And there's boats out there that are bigger than my damn house, triple my house. Okay, and they just sit there. They hardly get used. It's bad. Like I said, there's a lot of rich people here, and I'm one of them, and that's okay. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of cool shit here. Okay, let's get to the point. I gotta go back over here. All right, let's listen to old Nancy for a moment. And again, a new lawsuit came out yesterday. It sounds like a lot of you already know about it, in which a woman described Diddy's genitalia as a size and girth and length of a Tootsie Roll. Okay. This girl even put it in the actual paperwork filed in court, a picture. She actually did. I seen the paperwork, which I will show you a picture of a friggin' Tootsie Roll. So I thought to myself, is this some sort of joke to make the credibility of the case like screw it up? Because some people do that when trials like this are going on. They'll try to do this to weaken the case and play jokes and stuff. But is it a true serious lawsuit or is she pranking around? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'd like to know what you all think about that. Oh, do we get some? Thank you. Oh, wow. It's been a while, Dodie. I got to make some new icons. Duncan, nobody asked you. We're trying to get through this. Thank you for becoming a member. And I got to shut Duncan up.
Sean Combs' Tootsie Roll emerging from another alleged sex attack victim. What does that mean, Sydney Sumner?
Well, Nancy, according to this victim, on her fourth outing with Combs, so she had met him in a hotel elevator. They had spent a few nights out together.
It's so funny, and like he can't do anything about it. So I would love to see his face when he hears about it, catches wind about it, or if they talk about that shit in court, because he's raging inside and he's used to bullying and beating people, and there ain't nothing he can do now.
Together, but on their third night, she left early with her friend without telling him, which apparently really angered Combs. He said, "I don't think you know who I am. People don't do that to me." So the next time they all met up.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I have to for 1 second because of a comment I saw. 1 second. I'm sorry to do that, guys, but I just missed something. I don't want to. It's really hard in here. Michelle, is that starting up again still? Because I really haven't mentioned, and I make a point to not mention or say anything or feed into it because there's literally on my side nothing that's gonna point to me causing it. You know what I'm saying? It's all gonna be one-sided. So I do appreciate you saying that. I think I'm just old, and I do appreciate that and stuff. My birthday's coming up, guys. I might invite Molly and ask her if we can host a Sarah birthday party because I've always wished that I could have a good old fashioned Mama T birthday. But where was I going with that? Anyways, but thank you for the compliment. I just consider myself a plain old lady. Plain old lady like the rest of them. But anyway, I hope she's not doing that stuff again because I don't say anything about her, and I've only ever said that her face is pretty. But let's continue. Sorry about that.
The situation felt from the beginning. She got a car. There were a bunch of big men in that car. She could see used condoms on the ground, women's underwear, and they ended up back at Combs' apartment. She wanted to go home, and he said, "No, I need to stop by my apartment first. You're going to come up with me." He pins her to a bed, and as he pulls his pants down to rape her, word for word, she says she didn't think it would hurt as much due to his lack of length and girth. So she is comparing Combs' penis to a Tootsie Roll. And later in that same lawsuit, she refers to him
I'm a little older than that, Sally.
as itty bitty ditty.
Okay, Rob Shooter, testimony aside, there's really no coming back from that for Diddy.
There's no way that they're coming back from that, and I guess this is a detail. It's scandalous, and we're talking about it, but
There's something about the way that Nancy Grace says itty bitty ditty with those
this
eyebrows.
is a really important detail, and it's very, very easy to be proven. Let's see,
Bitty
let's
ditty.
see that
Wait,
she can
what,
describe.
Rob Shooter,
Oh,
are you
it's
crazy?
Hooaball.
No, let's see.
Are
I
we
want to-
talking about the same thing? You actually
Yeah.
think that federal prosecutors are going to
What
prove
does that mean?
that there's an itty bitty ditty
They
in
did for
Diddy's
Michael
pants?
Jackson.
That there's
They
more
did
of
it,
a
Mike-
Tootsie Roll than a
For Michael
cannon?
Jackson, they did it. Michael
Seriously?
Jackson.
No, nobody's going
They
to touch that with a
did that.
10-foot pole. That's not an element of proof, Shooter. What are you talking about?
Well, if they can prove that she can describe Diddy's penis, then that's a really important point for her to make. And so
No, I'm a Gemini.
I know they did this in the
This guy's saying that they should prove by showing pictures of his pecker or Tootsie Roll, I guess we should refer to it as, that they can show that in court to see if she's correct. Like, do you want to see his Tootsie Roll, bro? Because the way he said it, it sounded like he was kind of interested. This guy used to work for Diddy, and he actually gave Nancy some pretty good information about working with Diddy. And I don't know if it was this video, but I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I can certainly share the link. So he gave us a bit of information into the lifestyle and some of the ways that he worked on people.
Michael Jackson trial, several witnesses described what Michael Jackson looked like. And so I think describing what Diddy looks like is very important. It will prove the point, and hopefully she'll win a case.
Okay, Shooter, you actually made a legal point. You may need to consider that whole PR thing you've got going on.
PR?
Yes, that did happen in the Michael Jackson case, but I hardly think that the defense is going to broach the subject of itty bitty Diddy being in Diddy's pants. Okay, that's a whole nother can of worms. And as is so often when you're trying a case, you learn a lot more information than
Itty
you
bitty,
ever
teeny
wanted to.
weeny,
Now,
short,
that's
short
kind of
man.
funny,
Don't want
right?
no. Don't want
Right?
no. Oh, sorry.
Right, itty bitty Diddy, the Tootsie Roll in Diddy's pants. But hold on, not that funny. Listen.
Discussing their breakup, Combs took her to lunch and had a deep conversation that brought a sense of closure. But when Combs dropped her off at home, he pinned her down and raped her. He says she doesn't believe Combs even noticed her crying and telling him no. After ejaculating inside her, Cassie says Combs calmly got up and left.
Bethany Marshall, Shooter, had
He's
a little
marking
bit
his
of a laugh
territory.
about Sean Combs's Tootsie Roll, but did you hear what came out on the stand with Cassie Ventura under oath? That when they had a lunch to rehash, this is why we're breaking up. He takes her back and, according to her,
that is true,
rapes her, and then gets up and walks out without a word.
This is just one
Seems to
more
have a lube
iteration
obsession.
of what he did throughout their entire relationship.
Ah,
Anytime she tried to
she's got a birthday
develop
coming up.
herself away from him or establish her own life, he would send his goonies over. He would break into her door at the middle.
I wonder if I should switch to the other one. Oh, that means Dodie has a birthday soon too. I'm thinking I might switch to, let me check out the other one. And I don't know. I want to play. All right, so there's this channel. I'll put all the links in after. I will. Let me switch to this one and do a little sound test. Okay, so I watched this channel, and he's actually blown up significantly since this Diddy stuff. You know what I mean? I noticed his chat's been going from, you know, sometimes it would be a few hundred to 1,000. Now he's having thousands in the chat. You know what I mean? Like big time views, and he's been getting some of the reporters that are in the courtroom to channel. One of the women that Nancy Grace had on her channel from the court was on his channel. Anyways, there's something about the humor in which the way he talks, his language, it cracks me the F up. But he's not your typical I guess you would say news reporter, but he's gonna talk about this case and what he thinks, and like he's saying, it's not funny, but the chat can't help but laugh. We're not laughing at the situation or the woman being attacked, but is this her way of fighting back and cutting him down by putting that Tootsie Roll in there? You know what I mean? Is it real? And did she do that on purpose to enrage him and take a little dig back? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's a real case, or do you think it's somebody making it up trying to get some bucks? I don't want to call her not a victim, but I think it's a pretty good way to fight back like that. But you know what I mean? It's kind of, some people are going to take that as not serious. So it's hard to say how people are going to take this, you know. Hey, bonkers. We're talking about Itty Bitty Diddy and his little Tootsie Roll. So now we're going to switch to this guy that I watch. His name is Ticket TV. Some of you might watch him. He does a lot of the, I guess you would say, hip hop culture, sports news and stuff. He has a current channel. I think he's funny. I'm going to do a sound check. And could somebody just tell me, put a yes if you can hear it? I'm not going to say lightning bolt in the chat. Just a yes will do, or a one.
There is an accuser that has come out on Sean Combs now.
Hey, crybaby.
Trial right now. And she is now accusing Sean Combs.
I want to pause that just to make sure you all heard that. Because of the StreamYard, I always got to check. Hello, Nancy. We're talking about Itty Bitty Diddy and his Tootsie Roll. Okay, here we go.
Of all wording her, was she is the size of a Tootsie Roll. Now, she is saying, she basically is describing what she says is the size of this man's beefcake. And she says that it's Tootsie Roll size, according to TMZ reports. This is crazy, man. So it says, Diddy R-word a woman according to her allegations.
It is a
at
mess.
his Manhattan apartment.
Thank
what
you.
the woman said
Thank you.
was actually, she said she was actually relieved when he whipped out his beefcake because she knew it wouldn't hurt that much due to the lack of length and girth. Man, this is just absolutely degrading right here on Diddy, man.
I'm going to pause and say, you know, that statement right there might be scrutinized a lot, you know, because a lot of women, when you're in, or anyone that's been attacked violently in that way, I don't think in the moment you're looking and thinking it's not going to hurt that much. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is going to be really picked apart, all jokes aside. So that's why I asked what you all think. You know, is this something that was put out on purpose to damage what's going on? It's hard for me to say, but I wouldn't, like I said, call it fake thing. Anything I'm laughing at is the way that her wording is. And it could be her just trying to fight back and take digs at him, like I said, because there's nothing you can do to him physically right now. But you know, this is, when he catches this, he's going to be effing enraged, because you know the whole internet's ablaze right now making fun of it. And even 50 Cent, like some of you guys said, I didn't get to see that yet, but I'm definitely going to check that out after.
At least according to this new lawsuit, the Bad Boy founder is
Ain't
being
no beef
sued
in that cake
by a Jane Doe who claims that they met in May of 2001. She says they hung out a few times without incident at his Manhattan recording studio, nightclub, and a restaurant.
I'm starting to think
things
that
went
too,
south
Mars.
in July of 2001 on their fourth meeting.
Absolutely, Rand.
According to this woman, she's claiming that after a night out at the club, Diddy took her back to his apartment, leading her to his bedroom, where he locked the door and pushed her down on her back, placing his hand around her throat and telling her, "I'm going to suck the life out of you." The woman claims Diddy released his grip on her neck and then held her arm down, using his other hand to unbuckle his belt and pants before pulling out his erect, bare-skinned beefcake, which appeared to be the length and the girth of a large Tootsie Roll, right? In her lawsuit, she recalls feeling relieved by the size of Diddy's.
I'm pausing it for a minute because, Michelle, what you just said about you noticed that he went all great for court. There is, on Nancy Grace, the man that was just talking about showing it like they did it in court for Michael Jackson. He was on, former staff of Diddy, and he said everything he does is calculated. He went on, and I think it was that particular episode. I wish I had it pulled up because I don't want to find it while you're all sitting here, but he went on to say how he did everything, and he put thought into everything, from where a car was parked, entering a plane, and he would have them redo it sometimes just so the image was there. So he said there's no way that any of the clothing he's wearing wasn't prepared to get to the jury, and they already have a whole team that's like watching the jury. I forget what they're calling it, but they have a whole team watching the jury, trying to find the most sympathetic on the jury, and it's crazy. But he's never worn any clothing like that, and this former staff also said that he's never worn glasses for anything. So he said there's no way that everything he's wearing it's all for a reason. It's to get to the jury and create this image that he's not, because that's nothing he would ever wear. So it is all calculated. Yes.
Beefcake, claiming she knew it wouldn't hurt as much when he sexually assaulted her due to the lack of length and girth, saying she thought his beefcake was a quote-unquote itty bitty ditty. The woman claims she screamed for Diddy to get off her and stop, and told him she didn't want to have sex.
Yep.
But she says he overpowered her and did not stop penetrating her until he was close to climaxing. She claims he pulled out and bust all over her body. Then she says he backed away from her as she slid off the bed and went to the bathroom to wipe his residue off of her.
Residue.
The woman claims when she exited the bathroom, Diddy was naked in the bed.
Yep.
And she ran for the door and locked it. She says a bodyguard was standing outside of the room, and she asked him where the exit was, and he gestured downstairs. She says she left the place, and Diddy's staff drove her and her friend home. She claims Diddy called her a few times after the alleged sexual assault and even invited her to one of his white parties, but she says she did not respond to his calls. Since the alleged sexual assault, the woman claims she's found it hard to be vulnerable and alone with men and has withdrawn and become a shell of herself.
We got a Latin
She also
in
claims
chat.
she needed psychotherapy to and address the trauma and move on. She says she suffered physical abuse, emotional abuse, trauma, injury, and psychological damage as a result of Diddy's actions. The woman is going after damages. TMZ reached out to her legal team, but there's no word back. And I quote, now apparently there's some pictures in here where she apparently dropped a picture of her phone where Diddy's number was in it, I guess, in her phone.
Oh, there it is.
And I guess it may have been, I don't know, missed calls. Now, currently looking for this full lawsuit right now. Hold on.
In a minute, I'll skip to
Trying
that.
to find it right now.
Okay, he's looking.
Let me see.
I'm gonna skip to where he finds it, so I don't play his whole thing.
Come
a
on,
lightning
man.
Tootsie Roll.
What type time is this?
Lightning Tootsie Roll.
What type time is this, bro?
I wish they had a real Tootsie Roll in the emojis.
Y'all feel me?
So they're gonna show the real article,
Hold
and
on,
they're
I got
actually
the lawsuit right here.
there really is a Tootsie Roll in it.
Yeah.
That's why I skipped ahead to just a little bit more.
I got it. Shout out to my boy Diddy. Dock it. I got it, man.
It's
Crazy,
on
man.
actual legal paperwork. I almost died.
Crazy work, man. I'm gonna read this lawsuit to you guys. Let me see how many pages it is. Oh, this thing is 22 pages.
Let me see if I can just find.
Let me see who's the lawyer.
I just want you to see a little of it.
Who was the lawyer?
I'm gonna skip over here.
Hold on. I gotta put this up here. This is public humiliation right here. Bro.
Public humiliation, absolutely.
That's why I told. Listen. I'm telling y'all right now. Let me read this to you guys.
And this was a brilliant way to get to him, in my opinion, because image is everything to him, everything, and like there's nothing he can do, and the whole friggin' world's laughing at him right now. Look at this. This is actual legal paperwork, and it's a picture of Tootsie Rolls. I've never seen anything like this.
That's a page from the lawsuit right there.
Hey, Kitsugi. Hey, copy.
Let me read
that.
this right quick. Right.
Triple A size.
And I'll start from page 1. And this is a different page right here, but I'm gonna start from page 1. This is crazy work.
Hey, SDA.
Crazy work.
It's in the paperwork. Look.
Crazy work. So it said, defendant Sean Combs,
hey, man.
known as Defendant Combs,
We're talking
is a
about.
music producer
We're just briefly talking about P Diddy's itty bitty Diddy Tootsie Roll for a minute, and then we'll switch to something else.
and a business mogul with residence in New York, Los Angeles, Miami, and other locations, who currently is the subject of dozens of lawsuits as well as a criminal investigation over his, among other crimes, abuse, assault, coercion, and intimidation of include plaintiffs, which have occurred over many years involving numerous victims, which also were funded, facilitated, and perpetuated by his associates, employees, and various companies. All right. Presently, Combs is in jail waiting criminal charges on criminal trial, awaiting. So she filed this before Diddy went to trial, I think. Because it says presently Combs is in jail awaiting criminal trial on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, among other things. Right? The plaintiff, Jane Doe, works in sales and is a wife and mother who resides in the state of New York. The allegations made against the defendant herein began in May of 2001 and continued in July of 2001. Right? Now, it says that the plaintiff, Jane Doe, is an adult over the age of 18 and younger than the age of 55. The defendant, upon information and belief, resides within the state of California. Defendant of Bad Boy Records. I'll read all that later on. Let's get right to the accusations. Right?
So I won't, sit here and have you listen to all of it and bore you with all of it, but I just want to give you a little sample of the Tootsie Roll part. And I did drop his channel in the chat because he's been keeping up with it.
Facts relevant to all causes of action, right? Now let's get into that, right? All right. So it says this. This is an action for injuries and damages suffered by plaintiff Jane Doe as a direct and proximate result of the defendant's wrongful conduct began in May of 2001 and conducted through July 2001. Plaintiff Jane Doe first met defendant Combs in May of 2001 in the elevator in a building which housed the law firm Grubman and Dursky, located at 157 West 57th Street, New York, New York. Defendant Combs looked plaintiff Jane Doe, who was present with three of her friends, up and down while staring and asked, "Any chance you guys want to come to the party tonight?" Defendant Combs proceeded to ask the plaintiff.
I had to stop because I wanted to say that I agree with you, Sweet Tea. I constantly think of the word demon. Like if there was a live demon on Earth, it's him. The things he's been doing for decades and just no regard to anyone's life or anything. And he's had hundreds of victims. Like I've never heard of anything like this. A case. I don't think we'll ever hear about another case like this in our lifetime with this many victims. Actually, you know what I mean? When you think about it, and a human life is nothing to him. He would just. It sounds like he basically is. In some cases, assaulted a new person every day. People didn't mean shit to him. It's wild. And I really do think he's a demon. Like there's a demon in him.
Jane Doe for a phone number, which he provided him. Later that day, defendant Combs called the plaintiff, Jane Doe, said, "We're going to a club tonight," and requested her name.
Absolutely, Fizz. I did say that earlier, but yeah, to make that clear and reiterate that again, nothing's funny about the situation. Nothing's funny about rape. I'll say rape. It's all about the Tootsie Roll in the fantastic way that she did this to take a dig back on him, because now the whole world's laughing at him.
And the names of her friends for the guest list. Plaintiff Jane Doe observed defendant Combs' phone number to be blank, 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 blank. She proceeded to save his number in her phone in her contact list. And she has a picture of Diddy in her phone, in her contact list. I think
he's worse than Epstein.
Screenshot, which I will show. That evening, approximately 11 o'clock p.m.,
hey, Flossie.
Plaintiff Jane Doe and her friends arrived at the location provided by defendant Combs. Plaintiff's first night out with defendant Combs. Upon arriving at the club, plaintiff Jane Doe provided her name and was ushered into the VIP section of the club where defendant Combs was seated at a table. Plaintiff Jane Doe joined defendant Combs and began to have a conversation with him.
And I'm just going to play this about to the part with the maybe a little bit after the Tootsie Roll part because it's several pages long. But I wanted you to have an opportunity to hear some of this, which it sounds like most people did, and also if you want to check out this guy's channel because he does it in a hilarious manner.
During the conversation, defendant Combs abruptly said, "You're very well manicured. You keep yourself together. I like your nails and toes." Plaintiff Jane Doe accepted the compliment and the two continued talking and drinking. The night ended without incident. This was the first step in defendant Combs' well-worn scheme to groom the plaintiff Jane Doe. Plaintiff's second night out with defendant Combs. 2 days later, defendant Combs called the plaintiff Jane asked her to meet him at his studio. All right. Plaintiff Jane Doe accepted the invitation, and she, along with two other friends, arrived at Bad Boy Records, located at the west side of Manhattan. They took a photo.
Me too, Flossie.
To memorialize the evening, and they put the photo in the lawsuit. Plaintiff Jane Doe and her friends were led upstairs by physically large bodyguards and into a room that contained a pool table, a bar filled with alcohol and music equipment. After a few minutes, defendant Combs entered the room. Defendant Combs, plaintiff Jane Doe, and her friends and others hung out for some time at the studio before leaving to go to a club.
Also, I just wanted to stop and point out this is important that she has such details about the room because she's describing things in the room and everything like that. So that also, to me, makes it more believable. And I'm sure they can interrogate her when they're cross-examine her and all that. I'm sure she could provide details, it sounds like, and maybe even in more detail about what the room looked like, what else was in it and everything like that. So that would also, prove that she was in the room.
Defendant arranged for them to be transported to the club in one of his black SUVs. At least 6 people were present in the vehicle, at least half of whom were large bodyguards.
I think his mom
During
taught
the
him.
car ride, defendant Combs leaned over and attempted to kiss plaintiff Jane Doe. Plaintiff Jane Doe physically moved to avoid the defendant Combs' effort to kiss her, forcefully stated, "Whoa, I didn't say you could do that," and glanced at the men seated in the front of the vehicle. In response, defendant Combs followed plaintiff Jane Doe's line, saw that she was looking at his bodyguards and drivers and yelled, "They work for me, I pay them. They're not going to ever turn around." Immediately, one of the male bodyguards he was referring to turned around and looked at plaintiff Joe and defendant Combs. Defendant Combs immediately began yelling and cursing at the male bodyguard for embarrassment.
And because that was said also, I want to know how many of these bodyguards that are supposedly, as he said, paid and they're not going to do anything but turn the other way, how many of them are going to be on the stand? We know I know of one bodyguard on his own channel now, and he's been very vocal for a long time about Diddy. Are they going to be up there too?
The vehicle arrived at the club and everyone exited the vehicle. Plaintiff Jane Doe and her friends followed defendant Combs and his entourage of bodyguards into the club.
Yep.
The night ended without further incident. Again, part of the defendant Combs' sick scheme to groom the plaintiff into thinking it was safe to be around him. Plaintiff's third night out with the defendant Combs in July of 2001, defendant Combs contacted plaintiff Jane Doe and requested that she come to a studio again. Plaintiff Jane agreed along with a friend, went to Bad Boy Records studio in Manhattan. Plaintiff Jane Doe and her friend, defendant Combs, and several employees and members of his entourage spent time at defendant Combs' recording studio before deciding to go to a club.
Yeah, those are the two that I was speaking about mainly that come into mind, Gene Deal and Big Homie. And, they've both been very vocal. And as I said, they're all over YouTube talking about it all the time and have been for a long time. That's why I wonder, are any of them going to go on the stand? And some of the bodyguards not named or not big on YouTube that could get called, are there be any potential charges line for people to do anything that didn't speak up? You know what I mean? Some of them were criminals and didn't do anything, but they might use the defense that they were also in fear for their life if they didn't do what they were asked to do. I think a lot of them are going to say that he made threats to everyone, their life, to end their life, to threaten their family, and shit like that. So
Plaintiff Jane Doe, her friend, defendant Combs, and members of his entourage entered one of his black SUVs and drove to the club. While at the club, there was a sudden commotion, and defendant Combs' bodyguards rushed the plaintiff Jane Doe, her friend, and defendant Combs out of the club into defendant Combs' vehicle. Defendant Combs' driver drove them to the restaurant cafeteria located at 119th 7th Avenue in New York City. After arriving at the restaurant, plaintiff Jane Doe and her friend secretly decided they were ready to leave and chose to do so without warning and without informing defendant Combs. When defendant Combs realized the woman had left, rather than just gone to the restroom or stepped outside for a moment, he called plaintiff Jane Doe and began berating her on the phone, screaming, "Do you know who I am? No one does that to me. You can't do that to me." In an effort to calm defendant Combs down, plaintiff Jane Doe said that her friend didn't feel well, and that was the reason why she left. Weeks passed, and defendant Combs did not reach out to plaintiff Jane Doe. Plaintiff Jane Doe forgot about defendant Combs' anger after their last interaction. Plaintiff Jane Doe's fourth and final night with defendant Combs, all words, plaintiff Jane Doe. I don't believe this lawsuit. How you gonna forget that he went off on you the last time you seen him? Like I said, I don't believe this. I don't believe it. I'll just be honest with you. I don't want to demean and demonize no victims, but I don't believe this lawsuit.
And I also want to say this is fresh. His opinion on this was when it just came out, so I wonder how he feels about it today, and could is his mind possibly changed? Because when you first hear about something like this, it is a little wild to take in. Because I've never seen any legal paperwork like this or referring to anyone's genitalia as a Tootsie Roll, or you know what I mean. It is kind of wild, but it's good to really think about it, and because some people do stuff like this during trials, and to screw up the strength of the case, but. I am curious if he's changed his mind. It was literally when he just found out.
You said, y'all know me.
I personally sat and thought about both sides of it, and I'm more on the side of believe in her right now.
I'm gonna keep it 100 on my channel. You sat up here and said, like I said, first of all, you demean the man in the lawsuit. You demean him in a lawsuit by not just saying, "Hey, man, he have a small size and I could describe it," but you talking about, he got a roll size and the itty bitty ditty and all that other stuff, man. Come on, man. What type of time is that, man? And you got serious victims out here, and you out here playing jokes. So the plaintiff says, she's talking about she forgot that he was angry with her the last time. If that's the last time y'all saw each other, you will remember what happened, right? Or not? So you don't remember it's not like a year passed. You don't remember that he yelled at you in the restaurant and hollered at you and did all that the last time you saw Diddy? Come on, man.
And that is something that will be picked apart in court. They will pick up on that.
Come on, man. So it said plaintiff Jane Doe's final night with defendant Combs. Defendant Combs, all words, plaintiff Jane Doe. It says, on or about July the 31st, 2001, defendant Combs called plaintiff Jane Doe and asked her if she wanted to go to the Bowery Ballroom to see performing artist Mos Def perform. Plaintiff Jane Doe agreed and asked if she could bring a friend. Defendant Combs agreed and told plaintiff Jane Doe that her and her friend should meet him at the Bad Boy Record Studio in Manhattan. Plaintiff,
it goes on for a while.
Jane Doe and her friend arrived at the studio and waited briefly before defendant Combs stated that it was time to go. Unlike the previous interactions, this time defendant Combs told plaintiff Doe and her friend to enter a tour bus. Two women entered the tour bus and found themselves surrounded by 8 to 10 large imposing men. They felt extremely uncomfortable. On the floor of the tour bus, plaintiff Jane Doe and her friend observed open condom wrappers, used condoms, and women's underwear. The tour bus arrived at the Bowery Ballroom and the occupants exited the bus and entered the location. Upon entering, defendant Combs, plaintiff Jane Doe, and defendant Combs' entourage bought a private area, were brought to a private area in the balcony to watch the show. Plaintiff Jane Doe noted that defendant Combs did not.
Let me just ask at this time, do you guys want me to play a little bit more of this to hear more details of her accusations, since this is the real legal paperwork, or do you want me to skip to the next thing? I'll just give it a minute. So just either put next in chat or more for more of this, because I want to give you a chance, because I don't want to. I didn't realize the part I put on was so long, you know. And like I said, I think it actually says it's 22 pages long. No, I really would. It's guys. I don't want to bore you. I mean, what else do I have? I have the other couple. I got something else funny. Well, I am, but I thought I'd ask. Well. I did want to kind of get to just this page, but it's hard to say where that is. That doesn't really. I'll play it while I wait.
Appear to
Hello,
be friendly
redheaded
or
storm.
jovial as in the past interactions. Defendant Combs and his entourage bought drinks to the
Oh, I
plaintiff
think I
Jane
have
Doe,
something for
friend,
you.
which they consumed. Defendant Combs' entourage also began smoking marijuana and blowing smoke in the faces of Jane Doe and her friend. After about 40 minutes, plaintiff Jane Doe's friend asked her if she felt weird, and the plaintiff Jane Doe confirmed she did. Plaintiff Jane Doe further noted she felt weak in her arms and legs and unsteady on her feet. She even needed to hold on to the banister when they were descending the stairs to leave. The two women further discussed whether or not they had physically ever felt that way before, and they both agreed that they had not. They believe it was possible and probable that their weakened physical state was a result of consuming an alcoholic beverage spiked with illegal drugs. Almost simultaneously, a spotlight was shown on defendant Combs, and his presence was made to be known to the concert goers. As soon as the spotlight was removed from defendant Combs, he said it was time to leave. Defendant Combs, plaintiff Joe, her friend, and three other people left the Bowery Ballroom and entered a black SUV, not the tour bus they arrived in. Plaintiff Jane Doe asked if she and her friend could be driven to her Upper East Side apartment. Right? Defendant Combs said he would take her home, but that he needed to stop at his New York City apartment first. Defendant Combs drove to the Combs home, which was located at 807 Park Avenue.
Allegedly, so we've heard in many of the that she may have been a part of or even participated in. There's been many allegations of that. So I don't know what future charges could come into play for her, or will she be called to the stand if she witnessed some of this? You know what I mean? I can't wait to see who else is called to the stand. That's supposed to, like, updates, you know?
On the upper side of Manhattan. Defendant Combs exited the vehicle, grabbed plaintiff Jane Doe's hand, and said, "Come with me real quick." Plaintiff Doe exited the vehicle and followed Combs inside his home. Defendant Combs forcefully led plaintiff Jane Doe to his bedroom and said, "I want to show you my bedroom." After plaintiff Jane Doe and defendant Combs entered his bedroom, defendant Combs locked the door. When defendant Combs turned around to face plaintiff Jane Doe after locking the door, his face was distorted when he angrily said, "I don't think you know who I am. People don't do that to me."
One thing I wanted to mention, she even put in that little detail about his face being distorted. When I hear all these people and their stories with him, a lot of them say stuff like that, and that goes along with that whole. To me, I'm like, about, you know, real demons on Earth. Like, I really think he's got a demon, and that goes along with the face distorting. You know what I mean?
Defendant Combs pushed plaintiff Jane Doe down to the bed on her back, put his hands around her throat, and said, "I'm going to suck the life out of you." Defendant Combs released plaintiff Jane Doe's neck and held her arm down while using his other hand to swiftly unbuckle his pants before pulling out his erect bearskin beefcake.
I'm going to pause that on beefcake as he refers to his junk. Ding dong schlong. He calls it beefcake on this channel. Oh, I'm getting a call. 1 second. I wanted to say, if anyone's interested in reading Red Storm, I put her links in my, let me shut the ringer off. I put her links chat right there, and she's awaiting a kidney transplant.
which appeared to be the length and girth of a large Tootsie Roll. Plaintiff Jane Doe recalls feeling relieved when she saw defendant Combs' beefcake because she knew it wouldn't hurt as much when he R-worded her due to the lack of length and girth. She thought that his beefcake was an itty bitty ditty. Plaintiff Jane Doe screamed, "Get off of me, stop, and no, I don't want to do this." Defendant Combs ignored the plaintiff's Jane Doe's pleas, slid her underwear to the side, forcefully engaged in vajayjay intercourse with her without her consent and against her will. Plaintiff Doe repeatedly yelled, "Please stop, I don't want this," and tried to kick defendant Combs. However, she was weak and physically significantly smaller than defendant and was unable to push him off of her. Plaintiff Jane Doe's 5'2", 105 pounds frame was no match against defendant's Combs' 5'10", 180-pound frame. Defendant Combs did not stop penetrating plaintiff Jane Doe until he was close to climaxing. Defendant Combs removed his beefcake from plaintiff Jane Doe's vajayjay and bust onto plaintiff Jane Doe's person. Then defendant Combs backed away from plaintiff Jane Doe. Plaintiff Jane Doe slid off the bed and went to the bathroom inside of the bedroom and wiped defendant Combs' milk off of her. When plaintiff Jane Doe exited the bedroom, defendant Combs was completely naked and now laying in the bed. Plaintiff Jane Doe ran for the door and unlocked it. Outside of the bedroom door stood a bodyguard. Plaintiff Jane Doe asked the bodyguard which way was the exit, and he gestured downstairs. Plaintiff Jane Doe exited defendant Combs' home and re-entered the black SUV waiting outside. Plaintiff Jane Doe's friend, the driver, and 2 additional employees of the defendant Combs were inside the vehicle. The driver of the black SUV drove plaintiff Jane Doe and her friend to plaintiff Jane Doe's apartment in Manhattan. Approximately 2 days later, Combs called plaintiff Jane Doe's phone. Plaintiff Jane Doe did not answer his calls. Defendant Combs called plaintiff Jane Doe. Defendant Combs called plaintiff Jane Doe. This is crazy, man. Dog. Oh, man. Man, bro. Dog. On several more occasions, she didn't answer the calls. Defendant Combs left plaintiff Jane Doe a voicemail inviting her to one of his well-known white parties. Plaintiff Jane Doe did not respond to the invitation and did not attend the party. Following plaintiff Jane Doe's sexual assault by defendant Combs, she experienced trouble being vulnerable and alone with men. Plaintiff Jane Doe became withdrawn and was a shell of herself. Approximately 1 year after the events occurred on July 31st, 2001, plaintiff Jane Doe began psychotherapy to finally confront and address the trauma she had experienced. Plaintiff Jane Doe attended therapy sessions every week for approximately 6 months before she was ready to move on with her life. After completing therapy, plaintiff Jane Doe was able to share her experience with her family, friends, including the friend she was with the night of the assault. In recounting the R word to her friend, plaintiff remarked that he was an itty bitty ditty. Accordingly, plaintiff Doe has suffered physical abuse, emotional abuse, trauma, injury, and psychological damage as a result of the defendant's intentional neglect and criminal actions. The lawyer that's bringing this lawsuit is let me see. Like I said, the lawyer that's bringing this lawsuit, his name is Jonathan Sack from Sack and Sack LP in New York. So this is a lawyer out of New York that's bringing this lawsuit against Diddy. Man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. This is, man, come on, man. Like, I'm all for the, like, if you really, you know, but you trying to be funny. You know, this stuff right here. You know what I'm saying? So you guys definitely let me know what y'all think, man. How y'all feel about this, man? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't believe this one. I think there's too many games being played, too much jokes, too much cracking. You know what I'm saying? It just makes you, and then things she said, you know, you said that the last time you met Diddy, he argued with you, got into this big argument with you, but you wouldn't remember that with Diddy, a public figure.
And I'll stop right there to say also, sorry, I had to step away for a minute, that I believe his opinion may have changed since he first read this yesterday when he first found out. Because when you first hear it at first, it does sound a little almost ridiculous because it's not the typical, you know, kind of thing you'd see in court paperwork with the Tootsie Roll. So like he may have changed his mind now. Let me see what's going on in here in the chat. You got some good news? Is that what you said, let's see. We got some information from Redheaded Storm. Oh, a new grandbaby. Oh, that's great. That must be nice. Now let me see. Maybe I should. Your daughter is 19 years old, starting over. Okay. Well, that's good. I just found out a family member is having another one too yesterday. Another little girl, 13 weeks pregnant. Let's see. I may now go to something more cheerful. Let me take a look at what I've pulled up here for y'all today because it's getting a little late for me. That's it. Nope. Give me a second because it's already auto playing. I got to fix it. Oh, yeah, this is going to be interesting. I hope the sound is working. Let me switch it to something else a little humorous. Very humorous. Oh, thank you. Congrats to you, really. Okay, 1 second. Okay, this story here is pretty funny. It is, I don't know how I didn't hear about this before, but it's from last year. A half naked, oh, actually, let me back up. Where do you think this story happened? Florida. A half naked man crashed his car into a Florida jail. And he did it on purpose because he was going to fight all the police officers. And wait till you hear what he used for weapons. It's like nothing you've ever heard of before.
This video captures the moment the suspect's vehicle crashed into the front of the jail. The Martin County.
I just got to make sure you can hear that before I continue. Just please let me know in chat if you heard that. If not, I'm going to drop it and bring it back up. Congrats, congrats, congrats. Ooh. Well, do salad. Oh, it's not showing? Okay, let me see. Oh, you can hear. Okay, so you can hear it? Yeah, it's definitely, it's another Florida case. It seems like all the funny ones are from Florida. Let me try again. Okay, I'll start this over now. This is pretty good.
Captures the moment the suspect's vehicle crashed into the front of the jail. The Martin County Sheriff's Office telling us 40-year-old Joseph Leedy is now in custody after driving from the jail parking lot up the walkway, then through the glass lobby doors.
Of course, our cameras and our correctional officers inside saw the vehicle in the lobby. They came out and were confronted by the suspect.
Chief Deputy John Budensiek says once crashing through the doors, Leedy started to throw rubber snakes in.
Crashed, he started to throw rubber snakes at the police.
And cell phones onto the ground and douse his vehicle with motor oil, all while being half naked from the waist down. The sheriff's office says the suspect was erratic, making homicidal
He was half naked from the waist down and started whipping rubber snakes at them.
statements, while also making comments about former President Donald Trump.
He just talked about his
You're welcome, Bird.
for former President Donald Trump. He also kept emphasizing that the devil told me to kill as many people as possible.
The devil told him to do it. So there's some proof. The devil is alive.
Leedy faced multiple charges, including 4 counts of aggravated assault of an officer. As for the jail itself, the sheriff's office says they'll be installing extra protection for the future.
We see where there is a vulnerability, and our first and foremost concern is keeping our citizens and our deputies safe in here, and we're going to do what we have to do.
Look at the door.
This doesn't happen again.
Oh, but I got another one on the same subject. Oops, let me pause that.
Thank you, Johan.
Oop, I hate when it does that. Okay, let me go to the next one because
This video captures the moment the suspect.
Why am I being arrested?
Okay, the dog was left for an extended
Shut
period
up!
of
That's not that one yet. Okay, I gotta go to the other one. We're gonna go back to another. Let's go to another article on this crazy man that threw the rubber snakes. I'm gonna start it over. Geesh. I don't blame you. What happened? Why is it paused? What is going on? I don't know what's going on here. What in the hell? It's not. That's the wrong one. Why is that one on the screen?
Our correctional
Is this
lobby.
playing?
Of course, our
Yeah.
cameras and our correctional officers inside saw the vehicle enter the lobby. They came out and were confronted by the suspect, who was wearing only a lady's top. He was disrobed other than wearing a lady's top.
And he was wearing a lady's top, but nothing below the top. He was naked from the waist down. But where did he get those rubber snakes?
He, at that point, threw 2 rubber snakes and multiple cell phones into the lobby, into the actual structure here.
And where did he get multiple cell phones?
And then started pouring motor oil all over his vehicle and then the floor where he was, threatening to light the car and himself on fire. Our outside deputies, or road patrol deputies, responded relatively quickly, encountered the suspect.
Maybe he
who
was
not
wearing a
cooperative,
romper.
And gave him multiple commands, which he did not listen to, and eventually he was tased and taken into custody. It took them a while to calm him down. He was extremely amped up.
They had to drug him.
While our deputies were interacting with him, he kept saying things like, "The devil told me to kill everyone."
The devil
and he
is
kept
alive.
sharing his disdain for President Donald Trump.
Devil is alive.
Fire rescue responded. They had to respond to check out his injuries because he was so amped up. They gave him multiple doses of ketamine, which did not sedate him. He was transported to Martin Memorial South.
Ketamine?
He was given more medication to sedate him.
That would make him high,
And
I thought.
at this time, he's been released. He's back in our jail for multiple counts of aggravated assault on our deputies. A little bit about our suspect. I'll give you his name. His name is Joe Leedy. He is local to us. However, he is transient. He's borderline homeless, living.
Yeah, apparently he was pretty pissed about Trump. Yeah, kept
in
saying
and out of
stuff
the
about
vehicle
that.
He crashed into our facility here. He has never, to our knowledge, ever been arrested. He's never been in this facility. There's no nexus between our jail and Mr. Lee. Our deputies, however, have interacted with him, giving him trespass warnings and interacting with him as he is, again, homeless out in the public.
Messed
The
up.
last thing I want to mention real
Okay.
quick before I turn over to questions is they did penetrate the initial door to the lobby.
I wonder if they're going to put those poles in the ground like they do. Like a lot of the stores around here, they've been installing those, like the cement poles in front of the doors, because there's been many incidences where and not to be judgmental, it's most often elder people that hit the gas instead of the brake and they just plow through buildings. So a bunch of my stores around here have those poles so that at least the person behind the register is protected.
At no time was the jail itself ever compromised. This jail is built extremely well.
Maybe
There's
PCP.
double layers of concrete wall behind this door. So the jail and our jail staff and our inmates were safe throughout this entire encounter. With that, I know you have a lot of questions. I'll try
Maybe
to
it was his mom's. Ooh,
yes, so the
17,
question is,
wow.
can I spell Leedy? Yes, the last name is Leedy.
And then was he intoxicated or under the influence of anything before the ketamine at the time of the crash?
I can tell you what I know from being with him, because I was here and I was at the hospital with him last night. We don't have blood results back, but he kept joking and asking for more medication and laughing at the fact that we had to give him medication. And again, the medication that a normal person would be sedated by was not affecting him. So that does lead us to believe he has built up a tolerance to different types of drugs.
This is one of the more bizarre stories we've heard this year. How does the sheriff's office respond to something that is kind of out of the ordinary, especially when it affects you guys crashing through your jail?
Well, the question is, this is a bizarre story. How does it affect us? What's our comment with it? First and foremost, we're thankful that none of our deputies were injured. Right behind this door, you have a dedicated group of individuals that come here 24/7 to keep this county safe and protect our inmates that are here. And he risked their lives. They had
Maybe
no
he was
idea a
looking
car
for
was
tornado
coming barreling
shelter.
down this sidewalk. And if they were standing just behind this door, that could have potentially taken their lives. So we're thankful that they're okay. And
He actually could have totally hurt somebody, killed somebody. And actually somebody sent me the what's her name? Martha, the Chidester one, the one who plowed through the birthday party in Michigan, the boat club, and actually killed a bunch of children and hurt tons of people. I got sent the update. She had court. You know, it was all posted yesterday. I was going to play that, but then I don't think I'd have time for anything else. So the whole rest of her court was about 45 minutes. But I didn't watch it yet because I want to find out just what happens, you know, when I watch along with it. So maybe I might play that tomorrow if anyone's interested in seeing what happened with her. But okay, let me continue.
And then, we're dealing with more and more people
my
that
best
are not
friend.
stable on a daily basis. So this is just another reminder of how dangerous our job really is.
Do you suspect that this gentleman could have been like, or are you going to Baker Act this guy? Do you think that you suspect he has?
Oh, I had a question for Ernie earlier. I was going to go up and ask him.
On some kind of
right.
drugs, but what about mental illness? Is that?
So the question is there any mental illness? Are we going to Baker Act him? As of now, we do not plan on Baker Acting him. We're treating him more like he was under the influence of controlled substances. Of course, the major and his staff are monitoring him to see how he comes out of the drugs. Of course, he's been administered drugs to sedate him. So as he comes to, we'll evaluate him more and then see where we go from there. He did not make suicidal statements. He made homicidal statements, but not suicidal statements.
Imagine
that, assaulted with rubber snakes. Well, I have heard it all now.
In terms of like the barriers or what have you to prevent, I assume, vehicles from
assault by rubber snake.
Are you reevaluating that, or perhaps adding some additional barriers to prevent this? Or
yeah. So Will's question, a great question, was: are we going to put barriers like bollards, like we have at our main office over here? And the answer is absolutely yes. Unfortunately, sometimes we play catch up and we learn from our mistakes where our vulnerabilities are. So clearly, we have a vulnerability here, but within a short period of time, you'll see this hardened up.
And how does this affect your operations in the short term while you guys kind of sort out this situation?
So the door behind me is used 24/7 for our correctional officers to come and go from work, and they come and go again literally 24 hours a day. Our bondsmen come in and out of here to help release some of our inmates, and then as the major and his staff release inmates, they come out again 24/7 throughout the night, day and night. So right now,
I think I have another clip of him, crashing through and everything that I'll play after this. Do you guys want to hear the rest of the news conference? It's another probably another 7 minutes.
It is
just
cumbersome
chat
for
if you want to hear
us.
the rest.
Local traffic,
Thank
meaning
God.
visitors are not allowed.
Thank God no rubber snakes were harmed in this attack.
In our jail, we're hoping to have a makeshift door up by the end of the day and be quasi-operational with a makeshift door by the first part of tomorrow.
you were saying that he was saying some erratic things.
Yes.
Talking about homicidal things.
Go through some shit to know some shit.
About the former president.
That's some truth right there.
So the question was, what was he saying when our deputies encountered him? He was emphatic that he hated Donald Trump. He did not make direct threats to him, but he just talked about his hatred for former President Donald Trump. He also kept emphasizing that the devil told me to kill as many people as possible. And he, again, was borderline incoherent throughout our entire interaction with him and made a lot of those statements over the course of.
So what do y'all think that is besides just mental illness combined with drugs? Is that something that would be like probably meth? I wonder what drugs y'all think he's on. I mean, I'm only guessing meth. I don't really know PCP. I don't know what's big in Florida, or could it be just mental illness alone? But to me, it sounds like drug usage. I just can't imagine what one would do to collect some rubber snakes. Like, where'd he go to the dollar store? Where'd he get those rubber snakes? Nobody just has those sitting in their car. I know I have some weird shit in my car, and you wouldn't believe it. Even if you ever looked in, like I was saying the other day, like women's purses, you ever do like, what's in my purse? Like if people looked in mine, they'd probably do like a weird side. I have like wrist ratchets in there, wrist sockets, tools, like all kind of weird random shit, vice grips, scissors. Like, you never know when you're going to need the shit. You know what I mean? So I come ready. I come prepared. But yeah, who the fuck has rubber snakes in their car? The fuck?
Several hours.
It is Florida, though.
You said how to spell Lady, the last name. Is it J-O-E or J-O for the first name? Or
J-O-E. Will, the question is,
what's
his first name spelled? It's J-O-E.
How old is this guy?
84 or 85.
His birthday was 84. Sorry, we'll get you the affidavit. And we also have a video.
I've never heard of anyone on it.
Camera in the jail, the vehicle coming through. So we'll get you that after we're done here today.
Just to clarify, was there anyone inside the lobby when it happened, or was there no one in the lobby, just people inside the building?
So the question is, were there people inside of the lobby when this took place? There were
longer
no.
than I thought.
Our correctional officers were in the building,
Speeding it up.
just past the second wall in there. So they were within striking distance of the vehicle, but they were not just on the other side of this door. There were no civilians or visitors in the lobby at that hour.
And then just to clarify, so no visitors are allowed to stay until that makeshift door is up, hopefully by the end of the day?
Yes, the question is, are visitors allowed today? And the answer is no. But as soon as we can get things back operational, we'll allow people to come and go as they normally would. Of course, we're making allowances for attorneys that need to come in, bondsmen that need to come in and out. We're trying to do our best to facilitate all that to make sure that our inmates are taken care of and that our civilians that are moving in and out are taken care of.
What happened to the vehicle that's being used? Is that under investigation? Was that taken over?
I tried to find some
So the
eels.
question is, what happened to the vehicle that crashed into this door?
Yesterday, I went to the heron run and I tried to find some heron and some eels, but I didn't have any success. I did that on a live stream.
The vehicle was towed across the parking lot here.
No,
to
I
crime
did,
scene lot.
I did see that flipping through, Tracy, but I didn't know that was new and I didn't click on it. I probably should
We
have.
can go through it. Hopefully, if there was drugs used in this, we get some indication
like
as
these
to
body
motive,
cam
why
things.
he was here.
As far as, in the process of him kind of pouring the oil and making these threats, was there anybody around to rationalize? I know sometimes there's somebody who talk the situation down. Is there anybody, I guess, around to be able to do that with him? Is that part of this process?
So all of our deputies. So the question is, was there anybody that could talk him down? All of our deputies, including the major's correctional deputies, are CIT certified. They're used to dealing with people that are high on drugs or mentally ill. There was no amount of talking that calmed him down. Only force, the use of a taser, put him in check. And then even again, hours after he was taken into custody, I was at the jail an hour and a half after he was at the hospital.
Taser,
he
don't
was still
tase me,
struggling with
girl.
hospital staff. They were still struggling to sedate him. So he was uncontrollable throughout the entire process, regardless of who talked to him, a nurse, doctor, or deputy.
So just to clarify, it would be accurate to say that following this incident, you guys are going to take sort of additional steps to make it impossible for vehicles to, I guess, do what this gentleman did, using some sort of barriers or what have you. Is that accurate? Or
Yeah, so Will's question is he wants to clarify if we're going to harden up the facility so vehicles can't drive in. So the answer is absolutely yes. If you'll notice across the driveway, there's bollards that would prevent vehicles from driving into the doors, which are closer to the parking lot.
Okay, that's probably enough of that. Now, didn't I? I thought I had another short clip of this. I already played that one. Let's just look at a repeat of that real quick if anyone came in late. Just the crash part real quick because it's only 1 minute.
Authorities say the 40-year-old man was half naked, acting erratically. He also made some alarming statements. Surveillance video shows the moment 40-year-old Joseph Leedy drove right through the front of the Martin County Jail in Stewart. Deputies say after crashing, Leedy started to throw rubber snakes and cell phones onto the ground. Then he doused his vehicle with motor oil,
Can't take it.
all while being naked from the waist down. The sheriff's office says the suspect also made homicidal statements and comments about former President Trump.
I'll kill you.
He just talked about his hatred for former President Donald Trump. He also kept emphasizing that the devil told me to kill as many people as possible.
Can't take.
Well, there he is. Leedy faces several charges, including 4 counts of aggravated assault on an officer. As for the jail itself, the sheriff's office says it's going to be taking some extra precautions here to install those extra precautions.
Oh, that's hideous, Tracy. That's hideous. You know, Dork, to answer that question, that's a good one. It actually did look like that. They did say he had nothing on below the waist. He was just wearing a woman's top. So maybe that would explain where the underwear went, and that is what was in fact on his head. Now, this isn't a funny one, but I thought I should play it because it's a good reminder. You know, it's getting hot. It already is hot down the south. To not leave your dog there, which most people, I would imagine here, do not do. This dumbass did, and when I watched this earlier, I thought it was really cool how the officer helped the dog, and you could tell he had a good love for dogs. The way he put the dog right in his patrol car, and putting water. He didn't no thought. I pick up on stuff like this. He didn't give no thought to his car, or his own water in his own car. He just went to saving the dog, and I thought it was nice. Please, your dogs in the fucking summer. I wish it was a funny one, but about 9 minutes. I think I might get ready to go on a field trip, so I might do a pop-up live in a little while. So I would like to really do the field trip, so I'm going to get through this real quick. And please let me know if you can't hear this.
With no water, the dog was clearly in distress.
Today's video comes from Palm Beach County, Florida, where police responded
imagine that it's Florida.
to a distress locked in a vehicle. The temperature is 85 degrees. Without knowing how long the dog has been there, he is at extreme risk for heat-related complications. The owner arrives on scene not understanding what the issue is.
Look at the poor dog. No. Look at him. He's just trying to get the hell out of the car. I felt for him. He's so desperate. You see how desperate he is to get out of there for the officer to get him, but he can only get like one shoulder out of the car. SDA, I'm thinking of going down that way and going through the harbor to see if any of the sick boats are out. Oh, looks like I have company. Whoops. Damn. I hate dandelions in my yard.
Come out. Come out. Come on.
Poor thing. He's trying so hard to save him, though. Right to the water. I just love how much care the officer, put on the dog to save him. He don't care about the bowl. He don't care about pouring water in his car. He's just trying to cool the dog down. You put him in there because it's cool with AC.
I just want to get him wet a little bit. I know he's hot. Yeah, so.
Oh, wow, Tracy.
His name's Bo. Come on. Come on.
Can't do this. Go to jail.
I know, but there you go. Give me 1 second. I think after you have some more water.
So even when he put him in the car, I was like, don't put him in there.
Okay.
But he has his AC cranking in there. He says it in a little bit.
So this is registered to you. Where are you going?
Right here.
She's in the back.
And this guy claims that he left the dog in there all night long. And then another family member comes along and makes it sound like the guy's not in his right state of mind. So it seems like there's some mental illness going on, and he probably shouldn't have the dog right now. I don't know what kind of mental illness, but clearly he's going to be, his statements are very off.
For what? Your dog? Yeah. Okay. Give him a minute. It's in the back of my car.
Hey,
There's
Donna.
John in there.
Just finishing up shortly here.
Can you get the dog some water, or is he good, or what?
Yeah, he's good. We can do the dog water, but I have to talk to him first.
Yeah.
He might try and run out. He has a leash on.
Hi, baby. Wait. Hi, baby. I gotta come. Good boy. Okay, take a break. Oh, just a little bit. We don't want you sick. Okay. All right, that's it. Go back in. No. Come on, baby. Come on. Can someone help me get the dog back in the car? No.
I'm just showing, like basically a dog rescue as a reminder thing, and I like how the cop handled it and put a lot of care into saving the dog in the heat.
Come on, baby. Oh, no. All right, make him jump in the car with the water. Take the water in the car. Come on.
He's like, no, damn it, I just got out of a car. Why would I want to go in a car? You want the hell out?
Wait. Come on, Paul. Come on. Go to the other side. Open the other door.
He's got PTSD and everything. Does it look like he wants to go back in?
Listen. There's water. Come on.
So I do just have to talk to you before I ask you any kind of questions or anything like that. I have to let you know of your rights, okay? So before we start...
I think the dog's definitely car traumatized. You could see he was like, I am not going in any car. True.
I'm required to warn you before you make any statement that you have the following constitutional rights. Do you understand? Okay. So, that being said, I do just have a couple of questions. The dog that was... This vehicle, this is your vehicle, correct? Okay. And so the dog that was inside the vehicle, that's your dog, correct?
Yes.
What's the dog's name?
Mr. Bojangles.
Mr. Bojangles.
Mr. Bojangles.
You know how old
3.
Mr.
Bojangles is? 3.
When I was a teenager, I rented a room from a lady that was a bit of a drunk lady, I'll be honest, but their dog was named Mr. Bojangles. I love that dog.
How long have you had him for?
Since he was a puppy. 10 weeks.
When did you leave him in the car? Is what I'm trying to ask.
Last night.
Last night.
Yeah.
So you left him last night.
Yeah,
So what reason did you leave him here in the car?
He's fine in the car for like an hour or so.
Did you leave him any kind of...
You can't leave your dog in the car for an hour or so in Florida or most places where it's hot. It's Florida.
Water, food, anything like that in the car?
I walked him and I gave him water.
What did you put the water in?
Cup.
Cup?
Yeah.
And so you said last night around what time did you leave here?
It was Sunfest last night, and what's the question?
Around what time last night did you leave?
What was the question?
And you said that you left last night. What time was that?
I left him in the afternoon, late afternoon.
I don't
You
think
told
he's
me
in
that
his
you left
right
him
state
last
of mind. I think something's going on mentally because he said he left the dog last night. You know what I mean? Like, why? Why would you? You know what I mean? His answers aren't making sense.
I said I was looking for him last night.
Right. So how would you have been looking for him last night, but didn't leave him? Obviously, you would have had to leave him if you were looking for him, correct?
Yeah, he was in the car.
Right.
So I was looking for him.
Mm-hmm. And then you couldn't find him, correct?
I couldn't find him.
Right.
And so I gave up. I fell asleep last night, and at 6 o'clock this morning, I starts with them again.
Okay, so from 6 o'clock until you came back over here in the car, where were you?
Where was I?
Yeah.
At my sister's house.
Okay. And when you got to your sister's house, did you mention anything about the dog?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys come look for the dog?
We were on our way.
You were on your way?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there anything
Makes
else that
no
you want
sense.
to tell me? Anything else you feel is relevant to my investigation?
No.
No.
No. My heart is broken. From leaving him and.
Okay. Has this ever happened before?
No.
No.
It's my uncle.
It's your uncle.
He is not well.
He just said it's my uncle. He's not well. But if you look at the date, so this is in Florida. It was last year, but it was May 5th. Now, don't you think May 5th in Florida is pretty damn hot?
Okay.
He kind of disappeared. Went all the way up to New York, back to Florida. He's like not mentally there anymore. Just kind of like fell apart. And today, my mom called me while I was at work saying that my uncle just appeared at her house. Just walked up with nothing.
So what's going to happen is animal care is here. Okay, so they have to take the dog.
Okay.
All right, they're going to call you once they check the dog out. So once the dog is determined to be okay to be released. So once they get the dog out of my car, you'll go into my car.
Why am I being arrested?
Because of how you left the dog. Okay, the dog was left for an extended period of time.
Seriously,
in the vehicle
bro?
With no water, no food, no nothing. We had a call about a dog, and I got here, and the dog was clearly in distress. Okay?
He had water.
There was no water when I was here.
Twice last night.
Okay. Well, it's also South Florida, and it's extremely hot and sunny. Okay, so for him to be in that car all day by himself with no water, no nothing. Okay.
Oh my lord. Well, yeah. So that was a reminder of that. And I have to say, in the meantime, some spontaneous company just stopped in and gave me an update on a term that we've learned here on YouTube, which we call scissoring. He just told me that he learned online that somebody told him that they wondered why it was called scissoring, when in fact it should be called, what did you say? Lip syncing. That's a good one when you think about it, huh? It should be called lip. And why do they call it scissoring? Think about it. So that's what I just learned for food for thought to end this in a moment. Lip syncing. I know that has nothing to do with rescuing a dog in the car, but I thought since everything's random here, I'd throw that out. My company thinks it's funny, you know. All right, with that one. That's something new I learned that was completely irrelevant, but that's what we like here. Close that one down. Let me come back over here to the StreamYards. Oh Lord, I'm going to be thinking about that for a little while. Gotta love your brother-in-law. That's a fact, though. Eesh. I wonder if I uploaded anything new in here. Let me check. That reminds me, with the scissoring thing, I should play an old-time video. Here's something from back in the day. Butter biscuits. Oh, shoot. She had those ankle bells. Look at those dance moves, bro. I forgot that was in the StreamYard. There's a couple others, but I'm not going to play them. We can't play those anymore. There's some that are temporarily banned in here for certain reasons. We don't want to upset anyone. But I do have some fun ones in here. They may come out one day. We'll just have to wait and see. Let me see here. What else can I put on real happy real quick? I'm still thinking about the lip syncing comment. That was a good one. I might have to end with my dance video. I'm gonna go on a field trip. Don't ban me, bro. Ground control for me. Oh yeah, I got some old ones in here that I forgot about. Let me see. I'm just glancing over in my page over here. I think I'll play this. Let me see. I think I'm gonna have to play that. One moment. I'm just pulling something up. Yep, we're gonna go with this. Instead of this will be my outro music. Oh, good. Thank you for asking. Very well, thanks. As good as can be, you know. Appreciate you. Thank you for asking. I don't usually bring that up anymore because, you know, YouTube, how things happen, but it's sad we can't mention some things, but. Oop, what just happened? Oh, here we are. I think I'll end with my dance video, and I'm going to head down in that direction. I'm going to check out what's popping in the harbor. You guys got sound? Oh, yeah.
When I walk on by, girls be looking like they be fly. I pick to the beat, walking down the street and my new the freak.
Okay, good.
This is how I roll, animal print pants out control. It's Red Bull with the big
Well,
ass bra,
thanks
and
for
like
coming
Bruce Lee, I got the
to my
clout.
randomness.
Girl, look at that body.
You might see me back later.
Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. I work out.
Thank you, everybody.
Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. I work out when I walk in the spot. This is what I see. Everybody stops and is staring at me. I got passion in my pants and I ain't afraid to show it. Show it, show it, show it. I'm sexy and I know it.
Big smile. Thank you for $4 super chat.
I'm sexy and I know it. Yeah, when I'm at the mall, security just can't find them all. And when I'm at the beach, I'm in the Speedo trying to tan my cheeks. This is how I roll. Come on, ladies, it's time to go. We headed to the bar, baby, don't be nervous. No shoes, no shirt, and I still get service. Watch. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. I work out. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. I work out when I walk in the spot. This is what I see. Everybody stops and is staring at me. I got passion in my pants and I ain't afraid to show it. I'm sexy and I know it.
Joe's and I'm dead. Slam Joe's butter biscuits. What else? Lip syncing.
Check it out.
Thank you.
Check it
Still
out.
got that romper.
Wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle,
Oh, it's no
wiggle,
problem,
wiggle,
Redheaded Storm, by the way. No problem.
Yeah. Do the wiggle, man. I do the wiggle, man. Yeah. I'm sexy and I know it. Hey. Yeah. Girl, look at that body.
Nah, I can't end like that. I have to play something for Bird. Yes, I do. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? We're gonna play some classic Bird clip. This for you, Bird, since you're here.
Hey, Bird,
Thanks,
am
big
I
smile.
echoing to you?
No.
So she's just full of shit. Now it's her
Is
damn
it echoing
door.
now?
No, we're not.
Now I can't hear you. Put on your damn hearing aid then. No, I can't hear anything but Bert's pussy. Say what? One of you has it. Your pussy's too loud. Well, you're the only one queefing.
Yeah, you're the only one up here. You're the only one up here talking. So say what you got to say, and don't act like you can't hear us. You don't have no problem talking all kinds of ignorant bullshit on any. What?
I could talk better if you could mute your pussy first.
How are you going to hear me if I mute? You're such an ignorant cunt.
No, just mute your pussy.
Constance.
No, the pussy's too loud.
Are you still hurt that over all the shit you still crying from the other night, honey?
The only pussy up here is you. You don't have to mute. Just your pussy has to mute. No, you the only pussy that need to mute.
Yeah, and stick one of them. Go over to
Maybe
Jimbo's.
you shouldn't have masturbated so much, and you wouldn't be queefing. Because I'm telling you what, that shit smells like tuna.
Now there's
a pussy echo.
Constance, are you scared of me or something?
I guess it ended there. All right, this is really the end right here. Oh, thanks, Fizz. I'm gonna get some. Thank you.
You're going to listen to a meth-smoking woman in love with a copper-stealing man. Yeehaw! Right. She sticks that straw up her nose and don't know when she's going to go. Yeehaw! You know, that's my version of it. I can sit there and come up with some more if you want me to. Hell, I may do that tonight. I may get on my little network here, and I may make me a whole new song about these YouTube creators. Right?
Don't talk about it. Be about it. Don't pull up. Shut up. Put it out.
I will.
Do it now, bitch. Don't wait. Do not wait, motherfucker. You got us waiting. We want this shit out here.
County attorney involved now, big.
It's a doozy. It's a doozy.
Somebody said that's got to be clipped.
Don't shoot me, bro.
Mama T, can I ask you a question, please?
Can I speak to Tara first, please?
No.
Tara.
No.
I will do what I want. You
no,
don't
you
get to
will not do what your damn wants.
That's
my favorite part. No, you won't. This ain't your channel, and it ain't mine either.
You, Jody, I don't give a fuck what you got.
Well, I don't care what you think.
Seriously?
Either. Yeah, seriously. Bitch.
I'll put her back.
I'm taking her to the middle.
Oh, Lord. Now I'm going to probably have to mute my pussy.
It's hurt again.
Oh, my God.
Remember that song, Ernie? Can you sing it for us? Thank you. Surely y'all remember that damn song. Come on. She's a meth smoking woman in love with a copper stealing man. Woohoo! Y'all remember that shit?
You guys stop. Get off my nuts, okay? My imaginary ones. How about that? How about you get your heads up out my ass, biatch?
Biatch.
Cry baby, bitch!
No, not yet.
She gone!
Leave the fucking tigers out of it. They haven't done shit to you, Jody.
Well, take that tiger thing that looks like a crab leg off your damn face.
Oh shit.
No, I won't.
No,
Why
I
does it
won't.
bother you so much, Jody?
This
Why
looks
does it bother you so much?
Stupid.
I happen to like my picture. Thank you very much.
It's not your picture. It's that crab leg there.
Crab leg.
That's what it looks like.
That is my picture.
So you've got a crab leg hanging over your hair that looks like a tiger? Come on.
There's no crab leg, Jody, for fuck's sake.
Do y'all remember back in the day how much of a big deal the crab leg was?
What is your problem with Ernie all of a sudden? You
Oh,
know what?
Bad.
Remember
Okay.
that song, Ernie? Can you sing it for us? Thank you. Surely y'all remember that damn song. Come on. She's a mass smoking woman in love with the copper stealing man. Woohoo!
You're
I
from
remember that
Lives
shit.
of Mine.
Yeah, and Sarah, the artsy ninja, I love that.
Thank you, Sarah, the artsy ninja.
Thank you.
Again,
thank you.
I love the artsy ninja. She assassinates
Yeah.
people, but she leaves a nice little picture behind.
She does
Little-
it creatively.
Yeah, yeah. She like uses the blood to, All
Give
right.
a little shout out to Sarah, the artsy ninja. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. And
Sarah, the artsy ninja. Oh, those artsy ninjas are the worst because they want to go do the assassination, and then suddenly in the middle of nowhere they just start painting, and it's like, come on,
Yeah.
man, we got to kill the emperor.
Be productive.
And it's like, well, do your hobbies on the weekends, you fucking ninja. But thank you, buddy. Who I don't know what he's talking.
Look at that catwalk. Come on. Oh man. Let's see. I do have some company in the background, so my bad. Let's see. I keep trying to end, but I do this sometimes. But I gotta go be productive. One second. Now I'm really ending.
Can I pick that doll?
No.
Can I pick that doll?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pick that doll? Can I work that doll?
You can go to sleep.
No, I can't go see because I need to talk this to that dog and I'm doing it right now.
No.
I absolutely do have a cigarette hole in that mask, and I have smoked through it. I do believe I did that on a couple panels as Mama Tree, because I have a Mama Tree costume too. Mama Tree 43. Okay, well, I'll see y'all later, because I'm planning on trying to pop up somewhere. So I gotta go in search of something interesting. And it's not gonna be pocket pussies today.
Let's turn it this way a little, maybe. I got the pedal. Okay.
It's fine, it's cool. You can say that we're nothing, but you know the truth. And I guess I'm the fool. With her arms out like an angel through the car's sunroof. Think I'm gonna call it off, 'cause you don't wanna call it love. You only wanna be the one that I call baby. You could kiss 100 boys in bars, shoot another shot, try to stop the feeling. You could say it's just the way you are, make another excuse, another stupid reason. Good luck, babe. Well, good luck, babe. You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. Good luck, babe. Oh, good luck, babe. You'd have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. Now that I'm moving from the country, leaving this big city, guess I'll be a little better and write a little letter to myself. Now that I'm driving down a back road, the one I always sped right past, and sitting on a back porch, slowing down and thinking back. Oh, and I can't help but wonder if you were really the one all along. And I'm doing what I said I'd never do, writing a country song.